Forget the obvious ones. This week's World Cup slate has a tiny island nation threatening to shake the planet, a German crisis match, and a South American grudge that could end in tears. Here are the games you actually need to watch. Ecuador versus Germany, and this is not a formality. Germany have been sent home early in 2018 and in 2022. Do it again, and it is a full-blown crisis for German football. Ecuador win, and they pull off one of the great World Cup upsets. Germany win, and they restore credibility. A draw leaves Die Mannschaft sweating into their final group game. The story here is whether Jamal Musiala can unlock a deep defensive block. Ecuador will pack the lines and dare Germany to break them down. Watch how much space Musiala is given between the lines. If he is crowded out, Germany will look blunt and Ecuador will fancy their chances on the break. Norway versus France, and yes, the star names sell it, but the stakes are real. France have shown vulnerability in recent tournaments and cannot afford to sleepwalk here. Norway know that a win puts them in control of one of the toughest groups at this World Cup. For Erling Haaland, this is his first World Cup finals. That matters. The pressure on him to deliver is immense, and France will make it physically brutal for him. The key storyline is simple: whoever wins the duel between Haaland and the French centre-backs wins the match. Watch how France try to cut off his supply. If Norway can get early crosses into the box, Haaland becomes almost impossible to handle. Curaçao are here. Let that sink in. An island smaller than most cities, playing at a World Cup finals for the first time in their history. Ivory Coast have the talent to win this comfortably, but a loss or draw would be a serious embarrassment for a squad full of Premier League regulars. Curaçao simply need to believe, and belief may be the one thing they have in abundance. They will sit deep. They will counter. And they will make Ivory Coast work for everything they get. Watch whether Ivory Coast can find Sébastien Haller in the spaces behind the defensive block. If that supply line is cut off, the upset is genuinely on. South American grit against European technical precision. Uruguay have built their entire identity around suffocating teams like Spain, and this is the game that tests whether that identity still works at the highest level. Spain are arguably the most technically gifted team at this World Cup. Uruguay know that. They will press hard, sit compact, and back themselves in set-piece situations. A loss for either team could mean an early exit. Darwin Núñez is the variable that makes Uruguay dangerous. His movement and power can drag Spain's defensive line out of shape. Watch how Spain's positional system holds up under Uruguay's midfield press. If they lose the ball cheaply in their own half, Núñez will punish them. Cape Verde Islands versus Saudi Arabia, and this is the hidden gem of the entire week. Cape Verde have been punching above their weight for a decade, stunning bigger nations on the road to this tournament. Saudi Arabia arrive with investment, ambition, and the expectation of progression. But Cape Verde are organized, fast on the break, and absolutely fearless. A draw here could be enough for Cape Verde to advance depending on other results. The key is their pressing game in the opening 20 minutes. They force errors high up the pitch before opponents settle. Watch those first 20 minutes closely. If Cape Verde draw first blood, the atmosphere will make this very, very difficult for Saudi Arabia. Germany on the brink, Holland's World Cup moment, Curaçao defying history, Uruguay meeting Spain, and Cape Verde shocking the planet. This is the weekend that defines the World Cup. Subscribe for the games that actually matter, every single week.